a big puffy thing on you. What's going on, boxing fans? It's your boy, Pool Kind of Boxing, coming at you with another boxing video for the boxing heads and the boxing minds. So we traveled on down to Omaha, and we found Mr. Early, who is the neighbor of Bud Crawford, and he, you know what I'm saying, he, agreed to give us an interview, and a lot of interesting things. We found out about Omaha and Bud Crawford's childhood. Um, how you doing, Mr. Early? How you doing, up boy? How you doing? So, could you tell us, how did Bud Crawford, grow up around the neighborhood, and how did he become such a great athlete? Well, the boy, he always was mean. The boy, he was born mean. I remember he was born on welfare day. The day that the government cheese and the honey, cause you get honey, you'll get government cheese, and you get 20 bottles of that powdered milk. And see, uh, when Bud came home, he had the black ashes. They called it back then when cause your skin was like real hard, So they mixed up some of that powdered milk, and they put them in the sink, and they washed them in that powdered milk. So you're saying that the powdered milk, and did it help his skin? Well, what it did was, see, we use powdered milk for roach protection. Well, that's what it was, because we found that the powdered milk, it would stop the roaches from coming in, because roaches was aggressive around about that time. They would get in your ear, and it was nothing worse than a roach bite, because a roach bite, would make you puff up, almost like them dogs that had the mange. And if you get one of the kids, Martha's son, he got bit, by a roach in his ear, and now today all he do is walk sideways. And all he says, "I butt that goddamn window. I butt that goddamn window." That's all he say all the time. "I butt that goddamn window." And so it's nothing worse, son. It's nothing worse than having a roach bite. So they protected the boy from the ashy black, and they protected them for the roaches. You know what I'm saying? Because the roaches would have got on that baby. And what they didn't know, that the government, and I tell you to this day, the government didn't tell them about what they were putting in that pot of milk. And the boy became strong. He became strong. The pot of milk that they bathed him in, it got the ashy black off, but it seemed to sink into his skin and made him strong. Like he was like a little Wolverine or something. That the boy, he was strong, and he could heal from anything. Because Wood, he was dropped 3 times off the porch, and he was ran over at least 3 times, and the boy was okay. And he he always had that left hook. He was always knocking out people in the neighborhood. I sit on that corner. I sit on that corner on the porch, and I watched him. His mama would make them biscuits, and the biscuits be greasy. And so if you know anything about biscuits, they grease up the bag. And and his mama used to make those aluminum foil socks for him. And I told her, I said, don't send that boy to that bus stop with them aluminum socks. And he would go down there early in the morning, and the sun would hit those aluminum foil socks. They would hit the aluminum foil socks, and I swear for God, that you couldn't tell if it was 7 a.m. in the morning or 7 p.m. at night, because The sun was always in your eyes when Bud came walking to the bus stop. And it just blind you. And then the kids, they were always ready. It was the half head boys, because I used to watch them boys. Them boys were mean, and they used to pick on Bud because he had them aluminum foil socks, and and he had that bag of greasy biscuits. And when he used to come down now, and he was already ready, because they used to mess with him every morning. And he couldn't have been no more than 6 or 7. And he come down there with the bag, and the grease spots was all over in the bag. He said, and they see Bud coming, and Bud would look it down, and he say, "What's in the bag, Bud? Bud, what's in the bag?" And so Bud, he looked up, He always had them cold black eyes. He always had them cold black eyes. And he he kept going. But the boys like biscuit like biscuits. Biscuit like biscuits. So, and all the kids, they had like a routine when Bud would come with them greasy bags. And they used to sing biscuit like biscuits. Biscuit like biscuits. And he used to get bad, and they be fighting. You know what I'm saying? So they got into a fight, and that's when he knocked them out. You know what I'm saying? He gave him a counter left, and he knocked out both of the half a head twins. And yeah, they were twins, and but they had half a head, because they were dumb. So back then, to be blue black like Bud was, it was kind of like being a monster. You know, it was kind of like being a monster if you were super black. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Bud, people thought you wasn't human, like a human being or something. So after school, sometime he'd come and cry, because they used to have names for Bud and people like me. They used to say, what was it? They said, the creature from the black lagoon, the creature from the black. So it was real ignorant. It was real ignorant. So, we know now through education, and we know now through the white supremacist social conditioning that, we just regular ugly. Just regular. We ain't no monsters. We ain't no monsters. You know what I'm saying? Bud, he just regular ugly. You know what I'm saying? Because, back then, people, they thought when you were blue black, they thought you was a monster. And they sang that song, creature from the black lagoon, the creature from the black, the creature from the black, the creature from the black lagoon. And, he would cry, and he would come up on the porch, and, I'd be in my chair. And, I looked at the boy, and I said, boy, Bud, I said, why you crying? I said, men don't cry, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm pro-black, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a leader in my neighborhood. So I said, Lord, I said, why you cry? He said, they call it the creature from the black lagoon. And I said, look, he said, I'm black too. And I'm Mr. Early, I want you to listen to Mr. Early. And Mr. Early gonna tell you something that your mama them ain't gonna tell you. And he perked up, because he knew he was about to hear some real shit, right? And so I said, look, even women, even beautiful women like ugly ass nickel, you're gonna get some pussy one day. You know what I'm saying? Because women like ugly ass niggas. And that's just the truth. You may have to get your money up, but guess what? Mr. Early gonna tell you'll get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? And you may have to go out here like look at that nigga Blade. You know what I'm saying? He go out here, he fight vampires. He fight vampires. And you may have to protect humanity and kill about 5 vampires. You know what I'm saying? And to protect humanity, You know what I'm saying? And you might have to do like Blade. You know what I'm saying? He's a blue black motherfucker. He ugly, but yet he get pussy. You know what I'm saying? He got a nice car. You know what I'm saying? He know how to twirl a sword. But look at Blade. If you do like Blade, bud, if you do like Blade, you can go out here, you get some pussy. You see that fine black one he had on now. You know what I'm saying? You go out there, you kill some vampires. You go out there at night, kill some vampires, and you know you get you some pussy. You know what I'm saying? And so he looked at me, and he was happy. So I gave him a stick. You know what I'm saying? So he could practice in martial art. That's how he got into boxing. That's how he got into boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so happy because he thought he was gonna get some pussy like Blade. And so that whole summer, he went around looking for vampires. And that's when he started knocking out people for ramen noodles, the chicken flavor, the chicken flavor. And he always liked the ramen noodles, and he never ate them cooked. He used to always eat them dry, and because you always could hear the crunch, you could always hear the crunch. That's all you heard. So that summer, what happened was, let me see if I can remember. That summer, what happened was, Bud and on them Haverhead boys, they started getting together. They became friends, and Bud, he convinced them to go get them plum dates from Mr. Laudanum yard. And Mr. Laudanum, he had the nice plum dates, and he had a dog named Sheila in the backyard. And the plums always had wasps around the plum. So Bud was always smart. He was always crafty and tricky. So he got the Haverhead boys to go in the yard and distract the wasps. But because them boys also had powdered milk and government cheese, they was immune to the wasp stings. They're immune to them. So Bud would sneak up on the other side, and he would get the plums without getting stung. And them Haverhead boys, they smelled like pee. They always smelled like pee because Sheila must have smelled that pee because she was in the backyard, and she must have smelled them Haverhead boys. And them Haverhead boys, they were getting stung by the wasps, swapping them away, and Sheila came running up. And before you know it, Bud was surprised, and he left hooked the goddamn Sheila. And the damn puppies came up, and he left hooked the goddamn puppies. There were three of them. All the damn dogs were knocked out. And then they ran, you know what I'm saying? They ran across the fence. And that's when I knew the boy was special. He had the cold black eyes, and he got meaner because he started jacking the kids around the neighborhood, that went. See, what happened was, back then, we had the generics, we had the generics stores, and they was everybody was sending their kids to the generic stores to get the ramen noodle cases. So Bud, what he and the Haverhead boys would do is they would go and wait for them kids to go to the generic stores, and they go down there and they go get the ramen noodles, chicken flavor, and I think it was what that boy name? It was Man, and Man went down there and he got a case of ramen noodles, and he said, them. He said they found them knocked out, and he didn't know what happened, but all the ramen noodles were gone. And so when they asked Man what happened, they said all they heard was a crunch, and he was knocked out. And so this was going on over the summer because Vern and happened to Vern, what I'm saying, happened to Pat, and all the same thing. They heard a crunch, and they got knocked out. But it was ramen noodle packets all over. So I did a little investigation And I just started following the Roman noodle packets, and it led up to Bud house. And he was sitting on the porch and with this chicken flavored wrappers everywhere. And I went up there and I said, "Boy," I said, "you ain't been knocking out people for their goddamn Roman noodles, is it?" And he just looked at me with them cold black eyes. Them eyes were cold. He, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen nothing like it. And he was just eating the Roman noodles dry because he never cooked them. And all you heard was a crunch. So I just put two and two together. I said, "You know what?" I said, "You know what? That's what them boys were hearing. They heard the crunch of them damn dry Roman noodles. And when they turned around, he knocked them out with a left hook. He knocked them out with a left hook. And he ate some of the Roman noodles before he left because he wanted to make sure they didn't see him. Him and them half-head boys was now jacking the neighborhood children for Roman noodles, chicken flavor. All you hear is the crunch. So they got up and everybody got up and watched. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wanted, the kids to get knocked out for Roman noodles. It was a damn shame. So what they did was, they got desperate. The half-head boys and Bud got desperate. So what they did was they started vandalizing people's shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll be missing a hood cap on your car, or busted window, if you didn't leave, 2 or 3 packs of Roman noodles outside for them to get. So if they came by your house and they didn't get the Roman noodles, chicken flavor that is, all you hear is the crunch. If you didn't have those outside your house, then you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems with half-head Bud and half-head boys. They're gonna do something to you, to your house. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do something to your dog. They'll kidnap your cat. You know what I'm saying? Your puppies, especially the pit bull kind. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody just started leaving ramen noodles out. You know what I'm saying? So them boys, it was kind of like the mob. It's kind of like he was the ramen noodle. He's like he was ramen noodle Michael Corleone. That's how smart the boy was. We were paying for protection through Roman noodles, chicken flavor that is. All you heard was crunch. And you know, most human beings can only eat Roman noodles cooked. But I can testify, and I'm not a snitch, but I can testify that Bud can eat 3 ramen noodle stacks. You know what I'm saying? He eat right through them. You know what I'm saying? You know, all you hear is when you bite through 3 stacks of ramen noodles, chicken flavor that is, uh, all you hear is a bunch of crackling and a bunch of crunching, and it's very intimidating to people. And but what we did not know at the time that the boy, he was drinking the powdered milk and he was eating the ramen noodles, the boy became super strong. The boy became super strong. We didn't know the powdered milk gave him a healing factor. You know what I'm saying? So when he was dropped all them times and he was thrown out the window, it didn't affect him. He'd just be on the porch when they get back. He was just no damage, no nothing. And he'd just be sitting on the porch in that chair, eating them dry Roman noodles that he had, and all you heard was the crunch. All you heard was the crunch. Well, thank you, Mr. Early. We'll do a part 2. That was very, very interesting. So do you think that's why Bud Crawford has brought like 10 Dollar Tree stores? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The boy loved ramen noodles and he loved powdered milk. You know what I'm saying? Which is the secret to his power. You see, when you when you drink powdered milk from the government back then, uh, it did something to you. You know, we used it for roach protection, but the secret is powdered milk make you strong because it got the steroids in it, and that's why he brought them Dollar Trees so he brought them Dollar Trees because he liked the rumble noodle, and now that what it is. Okay, thank you, Mr. Early. You know, so we'll do a part two to you know, more Bud Crawford childhood, stories, and I appreciate you. We'll be back, and you know what I'm saying. But that's all I got. This has been Full Kind of Boxing. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more hardcore boxing content. This has been very interesting. Um, you know what I'm saying. So remember what I say, y'all. Law don't go out here. Oh, dog. Get savage. See you in the next one.
Chicken flavor, that is. All you hear is the crunch.